Okay, imagine Canada, the chill maple syrup champs, telling the US, nah, we're good on oil deals. Wild, right? The US slurps up 60% of its imported oil from Canada. That's 4 million barrels a day. Perfect for Gulf Coast refineries loving that heavy stuff. But Alberta's boss, Danielle Smith, isn't playing nice anymore. She's eyeing Europe, hinting, hey, you guys need oil? We got you. She's pushing LNG and pipelines, framing it as a fix for Europe's energy mess and climate woes. Canada's tired of being the US's quiet oil buddy, and this could flip everything fast. So, while Canada's flirting with Europe, what happens if they actually cut the oil cord? Alberta pumps 700,000 barrels a day to the US Gulf Coast, keeping those refineries buzzing like Red Bull on tap. If that stops, Texas might be stuck, sipping Venezuela's sketchy brew. And trust me, it's not the same vibe. Gas prices in New England could spike 20 to 40 cents a gallon. Plus, Canada's sending 11,000 gigawatt hours of juice, yearly powering the US grid. Without it, we're begging the Middle East, or waiting on Elon's brain-powered dreams. The US needs Canada bad. All right, so if Canada pulls the plug, Trump's not helping with his trade war antics. He's slapping tariffs on Canada's steel, dairy, and cars, and they're hitting back hard, targeting US ethanol, the lifeblood of Iowa farmers. Canada's been guzzling that stuff for clean energy, but now they're like, see ya? Meanwhile, Europe's swooping in, snagging 8 million barrels of Canadian oil in March 2025. Double last quarter's haul thanks to Russia's mess. It's a classic tit for tat. Trump's poking the bear, and Canada's ditching the US to cozy up with the EU instead. Drama's heating up fast. So while Canada's cozying up to Europe with oil deals, not just stopping at crude, they're flexing hard to become a global energy rock star. And it's got everyone buzzing. Sure, they've got oil, but it's the whole package that's turning heads. Uranium for clean nuclear reactors, rare minerals powering up electric vehicles, and enough juice to charge the US grid. Like, it's no big deal. Picture this. Canada's sitting on a goldmine of clean energy goodies, shipping out stuff that could make them the Switzerland of the energy game. Neutral, but totally clutch. They're not just slinging fuel anymore, they're dishing out influence. Like it's maple syrup on pancakes, ready to shape a world that's ditching fossil fuels, faster than you can say EV revolution. But here's the kicker. Trump's not making it easy, stomping in with his no plans to pause the tariffs line, during a press conference that sent shockwaves everywhere. One sentence, boom, over $10 trillion in market value gone in a week. Like someone flipped a switch and turned Wall Street into a ghost town. Financial gurus are calling it a tsunami, wiping out investor vibes overnight. And it's not even a new law or a hurricane, just Trump's big mouth doing the damage. Canada's watching this chaos and going, yeah, we're good, leaning harder into their energy glow-up. They're not sweating the US drama. They're out here stacking uranium and rare earths, ready to power the future. While Trump's stuck yelling about tariffs. This isn't just a trade spat. It's Canada stepping up as a heavy hitter, and the world's taking notice big time. All right, so while Canada's stacking energy clout, Trump's back in the Oval Office, stirring up a hot mess with his wild press conference, and it's pure chaos. He doubles down, shouting, there are no plans to pause the tariffs, like he's daring the world to blink. But then he flips the script, tossing out, we need open borders, which is bonkers coming from the guy who's all about walls. The media's scrambling to keep up. Markets are freezing like deer in headlights. And even his own team's looking around like, wait, what? It's a total train wreck. Two clashing ideas in one breath, leaving everyone dazed and confused about what he's even trying to pull off here. Then he takes it off the rails, ranting about snagging the Gaza Strip and shipping Palestinians somewhere else like it's no big deal. People are side-eyeing him hard, drawing lines to some dark history vibes. And it's tanking America's rep faster than you can say diplomacy. He pivots to the economy, zeroing in on groceries like it's his magic word, claiming egg prices alone have dropped by 79% and food costs are tumbling. But hold up, consumer reports are screaming the opposite. Bills are still sky high and folks are like, bro, my grocery cart says you're full of it. That 79% egg drop? PolitiFact's calling BS, it's nowhere close. He's banking on groceries tugging heartstrings, a feel-good trick to dodge the heat. But it's not landing when wallets are hurting. This isn't just a slip-up. It's Trump tripping over his own story, and the world's watching him flail. All right, so while Trump's tripping over his own words, the fallout's hitting the US economy like a freight train, and Europe's not here for it. He's out there claiming America can't sell cars to Europe. But that's straight-up nonsense, Tesla. Ford and GM are shipping tens of thousands of rides over there every year, raking in cash. The real kicker? His tariffs are boomeranging back home, slamming US auto factories with layoffs and cutbacks, leaving workers high and dry. Those fair tariff promises are turning into a total dumpster fire, torching the very folks he swore he'd protect. And it's got everyone from Detroit to DC, scratching their heads wondering what's the plan here. Across the pond, the EU's had enough, clapping back with a 25% retaliatory tariff on US goods, and it's a gut punch. Big dogs like Apple are scrambling, eyeing India to dodge the chaos, because if they made iPhones all in the US, you'd be shelling out $30,000 a pop per fortune. That made in USA brag sounds dope in a speech, but it's a wallet killer for regular folks, and nobody's buying the hype when prices are spiking like that. China's just chilling, watching the US stumble, and swooping in to tighten ties with the EU and developing nations, building a trade web that's leaving America out in the cold. This isn't just a hiccup, it's Trump's big swing missing the mark, tanking jobs, jacking up costs, and handing rivals a golden ticket to reshape the global game. While the US scrambles to keep up. Okay, so while Trump's tariffs are tanking US vibes, the BRICS crew's out here, throwing a curveball that's got the dollar sweating buckets. Picture this, 23 countries are lining up to join BRICS. That's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and a whole squad of newbies, making up 55% of the world's population and a beefy 37% of global GDP. They're not just chilling, they're flexing hard, outpacing the G7's clout. Like, it's no big deal. Nigeria's jumping in with a $500 billion GDP and 200 million folks, ready to shake up the energy game beyond just oil. Then there's Indonesia, rolling deep with 280 million people and a $1.3 trillion GDP, saying catch us if you can as they dodge the West's grip. These BRICS cats aren't messing around. They're trading in their own currencies, ditching the dollar like last season's trends. Imagine Venezuela and Zimbabwe high-fiving over deals in yuan or rupees. No US cash needed, it's wild. They're not just talking smack, they're doing it, and their new development bank, NDB, is stepping up big time, tossing out non-dollar loans to growing nations like candy at a parade. The IMF and World Bank are shaking in their boots. Because this ain't a side hustle, it's a full-on power play. Nigeria's eyeing global reform, Indonesia's got oil and crops to swap, and BRICS is like, who needs the dollar when we've got our own club? This isn't some cute rebellion, it's a legit de-dollarization vibe, and with every new member, they're stacking chips to flip the financial table, while the US scrambles to keep its crown. So, while BRICS is out here flipping the financial table, Canada's not just watching from the sidelines. They're throwing haymakers in this trade war, and Trump's getting roasted so bad he's practically a walking punchline. Picture this, Trump's tariffs hit Canada's auto scene like a sledgehammer and boom, the Windsor car assembly. Plantone of the biggest in the game shuts down overnight. That's 3,600 workers waking up jobless, folks who clocked in every day, thinking they had a steady gig, now left staring at empty lunch pails, wondering what the heck just happened. It's not a glitch, it's a gut punch straight from the White House. All because Trump thought slapping duties on Canadian cars would flex some muscle. But Canada's not here to play victim. Oh, no, they're swinging back with a vengeance, and it's a sight to behold. Mark Carney, cool as a cucumber but sharp as a tack, steps up like the trade war MVP. He is, dropping a 25% tariff bomb on $30 billion of US goods, set to kick in March 4th, 2025. That's not all. They're tagging another $12.6 billion in steel and aluminum too. A double whammy that's got American businesses sweating bullets. Canadians aren't just signing papers, they're living the retaliation vibe. Boycotting US stuff like it's a national sport. Trip south? Canceled. That Stars and Stripes anthem at hockey games? Booed like it's a rival team's cheer. It's a full-on screw you from the folks up north. And they're not subtle about it. But here's the smart play. They're dodging car parts in the tariff spree, keeping the production lines humming across borders. Unlike Trump's wild swings that don't care who they hit, Carney's crew knows the game. They're not out to tank their own system, just to slap the US where it stings. Meanwhile, Trump's not just taking hits from Canada. He's getting torched on the comedy circuit, and it's brutal. Jimmy Kimmel's out here swinging, joking that Trump's rocking diapers to stay awake through his long trials, chugging Diet Cokes like it's his lifeline. He's more obsessed with me and Liz Cheney than his golf score, Kimmel quips, and the crowd's losing it picturing Trump, fumbling through life with a soggy secret. It's not just a jab, it's a whole roast, painting him as a guy who can't keep it together, literally or figuratively. Then Adam Kinzinger, ex-Congress badass turned truth-teller, jumps in, calling Trump a weak, whiny, tiny man, a 6-year-old, chasing daddy's approval who's too scared to face real heat. He's a coward, scared to death, Kinzinger says. And it's like he's peeling back the curtain on the big tough guy act Trump's been peddling forever. Trump's not taking this lying down. Oh no, he's raging on Truth Social at 3 a.m., firing off caps lock rants like a kid who lost his Xbox privileges. Fake news, terrible actors, he screams. misspelling half the words, and every typo's just more fuel for the fire. Kimmel's got him pegged, saying he's a broken fax machine, noisy, outdated, spitting nonsense, and the internet's eating it up, memes, flying faster than you can scroll. Don Jr., as dubbed the comedian who can't blink, all wild eyes, and flailing speeches, while Eric's the IQ of a pillow, stumbling through interviews like he's lost in a fog. Kimmel's not pulling punches, calling them a dumb crime family, a Gambino crew with no brains to back up the bravado, and it's sticking hard. Canada's not letting up either. They're playing it cool but fierce, sending a loud "we're not your doormat" vibe. They're not crying over shuttered plants. They're doubling down, showing the US they've got spine and smarts. Trump's tariffs on fertilizers and energy import stuff. American farmers need to keep crops alive are backfiring like a bad prank, jacking up costs for the very heartland he claims to champ. Respect doesn't mean we'll take your hits, Canada's saying. And it's crystal clear they're not bluffing. Meanwhile, Kinzinger's dropping bombs. He's a fraud pretending to be strong, shredding Trump's business. Genius myth with every word. Remember those casino flops? Trump bankrupted a place where even the mob made bank, and Kinzinger's like, genius? More like a chef who burns water. The Trump family's taking hits too, Don Jr., and Eric floundering under Kimmel's spotlight. Don's out there racing his own mouth, words flying with no breaks, while Eric's blank stares scream, "Help me," in every awkward clip. Kimmel's got them pegged as the Gambos, a crime crew too clueless to cover their tracks. And it's comedy gold that's cutting deep. Trump's raging. They're playing dirty. But it's his own failures Trump University. Vodka, steak salt, crashing down that fuel, the laughs. He's tweeting like a madman, threatening lawsuits. But it's just noise, a desperate grab to dodge the mirror Kimmel and Kinzinger are holding up. Canada's tariffs aren't just a slap. They're a blueprint showing they won't bend. That 25% hit on cars not playing by USMCA rules? Precise. Leaving Mexico alone and keeping parts flowing, a masterclass in smart retaliation. Trump's swinging blind. Tariffs on stuff like fertilizers blowing up costs for Iowa farmers, while Canada's like, we've got brains, not just brawn. Kimmel's eating it up. He's a fax machine spitting nonsense, and Kinzinger's brutal. He's obsessed with approval, not results. The US is bleeding cred. Canada's standing tall, and Trump's ego's taking a beating he can't tweet away. This isn't just a trade spat or a roast. It's a full-on unraveling. Trump's genius is a punchline. His family's a meme fest, and Canada's proving they're no pushover. Kinzinger's exposing the weak kid behind the bluster. He's scared of truth. While Kimmel's got the crowd howling, he's suing me. That's how. You know he's fine. Every rant, every flop casino, stakes, even golf brags gets laid bare, and the world's watching Trump flail. Canada's not just fighting back, they're winning the room, and the US is left wondering how it got here.